Good morning, happy Monday to you. This is your girl, Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Incorporated, where I help you to stop procrastinating, live the life of your dream, build unshakable confidence, get your dream out of your head into your life. I pray that you are having an amazing start to your day. I pray that all is well with you and yours despite the things that are going on. Let's go ahead and get a few people on here and get this party started. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Sinuses are acting funny, but we are not going to allow those things to stop us. Eyes are doing a little running, but all is yet well. We cannot let nothing hinder us from keeping the faith, living by faith, taking action steps, and all these different sorts of types of things. Don't let nothing. When I said nothing, don't let nothing and nobody. Don't let nothing and nobody get you off course, okay? Good morning, Angela. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning, Robert. Thank you so much for joining. We are, good morning. God bless you. We are here. We made it another day. So that is something for us to be grateful about, right? We should be grateful that we are here. We're part of another day. You see what the title of this live feed is? Schedule it. Schedule it. What are you doing during this time of quarantine? What are you doing during this time of isolation, this time of being off from work? And some of us are not off for work, but for the modified schedules. Good morning, Willie. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning, Nikita. Thank you so much for joining. So you see what the title of this live feed is? Schedule it. Schedule it. I need you to make a commitment to yourself that you're going to put 60 minutes, 1 hour, 60 minutes, 1 hour in your calendar every day, that you're going to be a student. You're going to learn something, that you're going to accomplish something that you've been putting off. Schedule it. Put it on paper. You have to write the thing down. Get it out your head and put it on a piece of paper that is visual, that you will see, because we already know those things that are out of sight, they are out of mind. You gon' do, fin to, ought to, should to, need to, and all these different sorts of types of things. But when you don't write it down, you find yourself catching up on old movies. You find yourself talking on the phone more. And let's bag back a little bit. Let's bag back just a little bit. I know this is not Transparent Tuesday or Transparent Thursday, but it's Keeping It Real Monday with Coach O. Don't use this time, be up on the phone and on your timeline, starting what you had stopped. Stop. Don't start back with the gossiping and lying and talking just to have something to talk about. You need to spend this time identifying your gifts, your talents, your purpose. You need to spend this time being productive. Good morning, Rita. Thank you so much for joining. This is not the time for you to catch up on all the old TV. You stopped watching TV because you said wasn't nothing on there. You stopped watching TV because you said that you had other things in life that you needed to get done. Don't use this time to catch up on all your old movies. Good morning, Kiara. Thank you so much for joining. This is not the time for you to sit up watching TV and scrolling on social media all day long. This is the time for you to learn something new. Because see, even after this thing, there may be some stuff that you was doing that you won't go back to doing. We need to wrap our head around this thing. Everything is not going to go back to normal. I told you, I think it was on Friday or Saturday. I don't know what day it was. But when you stretched out, you don't go back to that original size. You may get close to it. But everything is not going back just like it was before, week before last. So we got to know that there are some things that we're going to have to do different. There are some ways that we're going to have to move differently. So during this time, study. Be a student. Be open. Don't be a know-it-all. Learn something new. Read. Learn something new. Read. This is the time for you to be a student. This is the time, and I know somebody is saying, good morning, Toshiba. I don't have time for. This is the time for you to be, this is the time for you to catch up with your coaching. This is the time for you to catch up with your mentoring. This is the time for you to catch up with your schooling. I'm not talking about you going back to school and making no bills. But this is the time for where you can do some learning. Schedule it. Schedule it. Get up like you would be going to work. Stop all this. You can't, and I know for some people you're on spring break, but get yourself up and do something. We cannot lay around, still walking around in pajamas with our head tied up and sleeping and eating all day and not accomplishing anything. Get up, get dressed, be productive, be value added, be intentional. You gotta be intentional. When you looking for, you don't know what the day gonna bring. You gotta know what the day gonna bring, because you know what you gonna bring to the day. You got to know what the day is going to bring, because you know what you're going to put out. And when we put something out, we can know what we're going to expect in. If I put out seeds, I expect for whatever seed I put out to grow. If I am putting in the time, I am expecting success. It may not come when I want it. It may not come right away, but it will come. This is a season for us to get right. This is not a season for us to be moving in fear. This is not a season for us to operate in doubt. This is a season for us to have new habits. This is a season for us to do a new thing. This is a season for us to go to the next level. So schedule it, schedule it, schedule it, schedule it, schedule it, schedule it. Schedule your reading time. Schedule your learning time. Schedule it. Schedule where you're going to learn a new skill, or you're going to learn how to use a new tool. You know, for people that's having problems with with different tools on, you know, from different things over the internet, you know, using your computer or different apps. Learn something about it. Read up on it. Google it. YouTube it. This is your time to be a student. If you've been teaching, it's time for you to be a student. If you have time on your hand, and all I'm asking you to schedule is 60 minutes. You have 1,440 minutes. You mean to tell me that you can't put aside 60 minutes for you? Even if you put them 60 minutes aside, you still got 1,380 minutes. Good morning, Apostle. Thank you so much for joining. You still have 1,380 minutes after you put 60 minutes aside for your learning. Good morning, Kanata. Thank you so much for joining. In this season, this is the season that you need to schedule it. This is the season for you to be a student. This is the season for you to learn like never before, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. You're going to need what you learn now when this is over. You're gonna need what you learn now. So we do not want to take all this free time that we feel like we have, because you want to be precautious. Listen, I was reading last night where, you know, and it's true, it said that, you know, during this time of isolation, you're going to have more domestic violence and more abuse. If you're stuck in the house with people that you can't get along with all day long, all night long. So you need to also take this time to check on your loved ones. We're isolated from being around each other, but you're not isolated from your phone. Check on people. If you know you got loved ones that are already in an abusive relationship, and they with some crazy joker that can't keep his hands to himself, like he done had adult kids, you have to make sure that you're checking in on them. You have to make sure that you're checking in on them. And for the woman that is going through that, if you got to get out, you are not that, I don't want to say this wrong, because I don't want to step on nobody's toes, because people say you don't understand. But I'm going to say this. Your life is important, and you got to get out of there. Don't allow the emotion of what we call love kill you. Don't allow the emotion of love to kill you. If you are being abused, get out. Get out. Good morning, Mary. Thank you so much for joining. Get out. So if you know of people, and I need to put this plug in here. If you know of people that are in abusive relationship, if you know you got some girlfriends that don't treat her kids right when you around her, you need to be checking on her to make sure she keeping her sanity, for she won't be snapping out on the kids because they stuck up in the house together. Because abuse is still going, I mean, this virus is not going to stop all the other foolishness. There was a murder in this city on yesterday in the 4 o'clock hour, broad daylight, gunned down. Broad daylight on yesterday. It was raining and cool. People should have had their tail at home. But that just goes to show you that the coronavirus, good morning Mary, good morning Margaret, the coronavirus is not the only issue that needs to be addressed. We have put so much attention on the coronavirus that sexual abusers and domestic violence and physical abuse and emotional abuse and verbal abuse, all these other things is on an all-time high. But they're not getting the attention anymore because we're all talking about the coronavirus. We're going to have to schedule some time. Put some time. Good morning, Elnora. Thank you so much for joining. Put some time on your calendar. You're not so busy. Put some time on your calendar to check in on people. You know, it's no big deal about you having to schedule it. If you need to check on people from 7 to 8 or 8 to 9 or 10 to 11, whatever you need to do. If you think you're going to forget, write it down. Check on the people that you say you love. Check on your girlfriends. Check on these guys, because you got some mean women out here that think that they didn't have some adult sons. Check on people. Check on kids. You know, a lot of times kids are safe when they're at school because they know that parents know that they're going to be checked over at school. Look out for these babies. Look out for these children. Look out for these women. Look out for these men. And this is not prejudice to nobody. Look out for everybody. Look out for the elderly. Look out for those that are disabled. Look out for each other. Iron sharpens iron. Schedule it. Schedule your time for you to do your community work. Schedule your time. Schedule it. You got to schedule it. You got to get to a point that if you so busy doing everything that you doing, you need to put your stuff, it need to be in a schedule anyway. Because most of the time, what you schedule, you would do. Schedule this stuff like this is appointments that you can't miss. This is an appointment that you cannot miss. Because if they told you you had to schedule, if you had to make an appointment to go get that stipend that everybody is talking about, you will schedule that and you'll be on time for it. And look, even with the stipend, get that when it comes. But what you doing today? What do you have planned? We worried about a stipend that they haven't even approved. Get your mind off the stipend. If it come in the mail, great. But you can be creative now on what you need to do. You can do things right now. Right now. Don't depend on them. That's why we get in trouble anyway, because we depend on the government to build our economy. We can build our own economy. God gave us something. Yes, it hurts to see children are hurt. Yes. Good morning, Patricia. Thank you so much for joining. God gave us the ability to build our own economy. See, when we have to depend on the government, when we have to depend on the government for everything, they can shut us down. They can approve us or not approve us. They can give to us or not give to us. We can create our own economy where we should not have to be worried about day-to-day necessities. But we cannot just sit up in the house watching doggone TV and scrolling on social media. We on Twitter and TikTok and we on Facebook and Instagram and we on this and we on that, but we're not using nothing that we just sitting here wasting time. 1,440 minutes is what you have in a day's time. 86,400 seconds. 168 hours a week. Make time for you. Make time for you to learn how to do something different, how to do something new, how to be productive and value added, how to make a profit. We know that, and we're I kind of cringe at the saying of I'm a self-made millionaire. I'm a self-made. You did some stuff, but self-made. I don't think I think they use it, not meaning it as we may go deep with it, but not gonna, anyway. This is the time for us to learn. So I pray that you are using this time to your advantage. This is a season of opportunity and not just of punishment and consequences. That this is a season of opportunity. On Friday, we're pre-launching our Soul for Prayers Volume 2 book. If you have not gotten your copy, get your copy. If you have not pre-ordered your copy, get your copy. I mean, you got some people want to know, why are we selling books? People need prayer. And if we sit up in the house thinking that this coronavirus is the end of our world and we should just die, that's a lie. God woke me up and I'm going to live. I am going to live. People are still eating food during the coronavirus. People are still running to the store. People are still trying to do what they was doing every day. So why is it that we cannot help them with a book of prayer? We need prayer. There's a lot of people, when I talk to people, they say they don't know how to pray. They say they don't know what words to use when they pray. So this book of prayer, Soul for Prayers Volume 2, with 52 amazing authors, is a great guide for you to learn. A great guide for prayers that has been prayed for you for all type of situations where you got prayers for 52 days. You can use one prayer a week. However, you can have a prayer for a whole year. And then you can have a prayer for each state and then 2 countries. Good morning, Sherry. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning, Shakita. Thank you so much for joining. So let's not use the coronavirus as an excuse for us to be trifling, for us to sit around doing nothing, crying about we bored and we ain't got nothing to do. We got plenty to do. This is the time that we can share the good news of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. This is the time that we can save lost souls. This is the time for us to pull in our loved ones that don't know him, our friends that don't know him. This is the time for us to help in our community. Every help that you do don't have to be face to face and physical. Some help can be emotional. Some help can be verbal. Some help can be just you being there. So if you have not pre-ordered your copy of Soul for Prayers, what you waiting on? What you waiting on? Y'all be telling me you got me and I support you, but then when I come out with something, I don't see nothing from you. And I know that may step on somebody's toes, but it's the truth. This is the season for you to get your stuff off the ground. This is the season for that business that you have been gonna do, finna do, ought to do, should do. You've been wanting to do. You've been dreaming about doing it. And you know it need to be done. This is the season this is the last season that it didn't get done. Winter was the last season. Spring, baby, you should be springing forth. Spring, you should be coming forth with what you got. Spring, you should be coming forth. There's greatness in you. There's so many people waiting on you. There are people need what you have. Don't allow this thing to stop you. This is the thing that should start you, that should spark you, that should tell you that my whole life can be turned upside down without me even having any involvement in it. That everything that I knew everything that I know can be turned upside down. I'm used to getting out and going and doing what I want to do, and now I'm limited because where I go is closed. I'm limited because what I need I don't have. So this should be a wake-up call for a lot of people, for all people. It should. This is not a hoax. This is not a joke. This is not, what we feel like, okay, I don't have anything to do and I just want to do something. I want to do something. But this is what I want you to do. I want you, if you don't need a book of prayer, purchase it for somebody else. Give it to somebody that, that's trying to get themselves together, which we all should be. We all should be trying to get ourselves together. We all should want to have a better life than we had the day before. We all should want to be a help to those that are lost when we say we got ourselves together. Help somebody else. So if you don't need a book of prayer, buy it for somebody else. Gift it to somebody. Make a donation and let me pick somebody for you. Let's work together during this season. This is not the season for us to figure, I don't know how I'm going to do this. What do you have in your hand? What do you have in your hand? What do you have that you have previously learned that you are not using? Good morning, Verna. Thank you so much for joining. What do you have that you are not using? What is it that you are already working on that you need to finish? So Soul for Prayers Volume 2, you need to get a copy of it. You need to get a copy of it. You need to share a copy with the world. Share it with your friends, your sisters, your brothers. Buy a few copies to give to people as a gift. Sold copies. People need prayer like never before. Now, people need prayer like never before. And what I like about prayer is my communication with God. And prayer works. Prayer works. Good morning, Heidi. Thank you so much for joining. Prayer, it works. It works. So I'm for a small recap, because we're getting ready to get off of here. Small recap. Number one, I want you to schedule it. Schedule you 60 minutes of learning time. Schedule 60 minutes of being a student. I need you to schedule you 60 minutes out of your 1,440 minutes every day. Schedule 60 minutes at least 5 days a week. You choose the 5 days. Whatever 5 days that work best for you. Schedule 60 minutes a day for 5 days a week, every week, for your learning. Number one. Number two, schedule some time to check on children, loved ones, your friends, your family, the elders, those that are disabled. Schedule some time to check on people. Send a text message. Send a message on Messenger. Pick up the phone. Send an email. This is the time that we can check on people, because we had got so busy that nobody ain't checking on nobody. Because what we say, we all got our own different schedule. When I'm working, they sleeping, and all these excuses that we have. So number one, schedule time to be a student. Number two, schedule time to check on people. And number three, I need you to grab a copy of Soul for Prayers Volume 2. If you don't need prayers for yourself, be a blessing to somebody else. I will put the link in the comments. I'm looking for ways to promote this book. If you have a way for this book to be promoted, if you know large church groups, if you know organizations that can use a book of prayer, please put me in contact with them, or them in contact with me, so I can reach out, or you can do the contacting. Be a blessing where you can do the contacting, and the books can be donated in your name, in your organization. This is a time for you to give back to a community. You always say you're looking for a way to give back, but you don't know who to give to. So I'm asking, let this prayer book go to the prisoners, to women inmates, men inmates. Let this prayer book, because this book is compiled of 52 amazing authors all over the world. And we were blessed for our foreword to be written by Kimberly Lawson Roby, best-selling author. Our amazing compiler, Cheryl Chipotle Williamson. She's a best-selling author and film producer. We even are blessed to have Kim Coles as one of the 52 authors in our book. And I was blessed to meet her in person on last year. So this book is not just a book. This book is a blessing. It is a blessing, and you need a copy in your house. It needs to be in your business. Give it to your clients. Give it to your people. Give it to your congregation. So I will be placing the link. If you know ways that we can get this book out, you know people that need a copy of this book, please, I'm begging you, please help a sister out. So I will be putting the link down here in the comments when I get off. Soul for Prayers Volume 2, if they need to be shipped, is $25. If you are local, it's $20. We spend $20 at McDonald's, at Wendy's, at KFC, Taco Bell, Subway, Pizza Hut, Domino's, Texas Roadhouse, Chili's, Applebee's, IHOP, Cracker Barrel, at the nail shop, hair shop. The money that we would have been getting our hair done and getting our feet done, we can put that towards our education. Come on now, somebody. Look, this is your girl, Coach O. I'm getting ready to get out of here. I pray that you have an amazing day. If you're new to me, I am the founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated, where I help you to build unshakable confidence, stop procrastinating, and to get your dreams out of your head into your life. Get your pre-order copy ordered today. And guess what? If you pre-order, you will also get 30 affirmations from best-selling book Affirmed. Best-seller book titled Affirmed. You will get 31 free daily affirmations. God bless you. Bye.